Tesla has hired Snap's Vice President of Monetization, Stuart Bowers, to be the electric car maker's Vice President of Engineering. A Tesla spokesperson confirmed the hiring of Bowers to Cheddar today and said he would be working on a number of areas at the company, including its autopilot software. The head of Tesla's autopilot division, Jim Keller, left for Intel in April. Now at Snap, sources say Bowers was a well-regarded executive who oversaw Snap's engineering division that was focused on monetization, a very key area. Snap has struggled to meet Wall Street's growth and revenue expectations since its 2017 IPO. Back to you all on the New York Stock Exchange.
And Alex, what does that actually mean for Tesla and Snap?
Well, for Tesla, it's another executive, a fresh face to come into a company that's lost close to 8 or 9 executives this year alone. We've seen a lot of upheaval at Tesla. And for Snap, it's yet another executive to leave since the IPO. You know, we're at number 10 by my count of Snap execs now that have left since February, March 2017. And you know, with Bowers particularly, he was a well-regarded exec at Snap who rose rather quickly, and I've been told that this is a big loss for them. And you know, also, we've got to think about Snap in the context of the past year. Morale has been low there due to the underperforming on Wall Street and then the string of layoffs. And I'm told that the 120 or so engineers that were laid off in the larger org that Bowers was a part of about a month ago was a particularly hard hit.
IPO, so let's talk about that for a moment here. Snap in particular has really struggled financially since that point in time. So do we have a sense of how the business is doing now that the Snapchat app redesign is out in the wild, and this is the redesign to the redesign?
Yeah, well, we saw in those Q1 results, Brad, that they really missed Wall Street's expectations again. It's been a pretty consistent theme for them since going public. Stock down there about 47% on a year-on-year basis. And the tease that they gave for Q2 wasn't better. They actually forecasted that it could be a worse quarter. And I wouldn't be surprised if we possibly see the first ever flat user growth quarter for them, or even a declining one. So certainly not a great time for them. They have a lot left to prove. I know that CEO Evan Spiegel really wants to get the company to profitability by the end of this year. And looking at Snap's balance sheet and the amount of revenue they bring in, that's just not going to happen without a lot of cost cutting. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see more layoffs here in the near future.
And Alex, we've seen a lot of departures, reorganizations at these companies. Is there cause to be concerned about the significant leadership upheaval that's taking place at both Tesla and Snap recently?
Yeah, I mean, look, anytime there's upheaval like this at a company, it's never a good thing, right? I think to me it signals that the leadership really isn't gelling. I mean, take a example for Facebook, right, which has gone through quite a trying period. That executive team has largely stayed in place. So, a company can weather these problems, external pressures, and still maintain its leadership. But in the case of Tesla and Snap, we haven't seen that. I think Elon Musk, by all accounts, is probably a hard boss to work for. I've heard that definitely Evan Spiegel is. So it's interesting to see Bowers jump from one to the other. I thought it was interesting in a recent conference, Evan Spiegel talked about his leadership style and how he liked to manage people, quote, just below the boil, where it gets like really hot, but it's just about to boil, so people feel a little bit of pressure. And I worry, and I think others are concerned that pressure would lead to more departures here in the future.
Alex, we know that you're super smart, so I want to throw you a curveball here and ask about what this VP of monetization leaving means, especially at a time when augmented reality was going to be another big component to Snap's future and how they try to monetize that feature within the platform for so many advertisers.
Yeah, I mean, Snap's AR play is really interesting. It's a unique strength they have really against Facebook, where they're actually ahead of Facebook. Bowers wasn't particularly focused on that, so I think that part of the business is relatively untouched. But again, that's not a really monetizable part of the business yet. We've seen Snap try to come out and say that they're seeing some ROI for advertisers from their augmented reality ads, but we haven't seen that really translate to the bottom line. A lot of their business is still these programmatic, ads that they're showing, and that's really what Bowers' team was working on from an engineering perspective. So he was certainly a key figure there.